Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Foliage. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So guys, if you're wondering what I'm doing with this machine, this is nothing but a canister filter. So if you're into aquariums, you might have heard about canister filter. This is used for filtering aquarium water. Now unfortunately my canister filter went off, it stopped working, and I went back to the shop. They said that they can't do much about it. Now if you are into aquariums, you will be aware that a canister filter is very expensive, and yes, I paid a lot for this, so it was very difficult to throw it off. So I thought, why not make some good use of it, because it has this amazing can that can hold a lot of plants in it. So I thought, let's do something out of it. Let's recycle or let's upcycle it and make it into a planter, and that's exactly what we are going to do. But there are certain things that we need to do before we make this into a planter, and that is we need to have drain holes, because this canister filter is like a bucket right now. It's like a container right now, because this is where all the dirt from the aquarium tends to get in and get stored in this, and then later on this canister filter is cleaned and then set up again for the aquarium. So there are no holes in the bottom of the canister filter, so we will have to drill some holes in order to make it into a planter. I know not everyone is going to have a canister filter at home, but guys, the entire idea of this DIY is basically making a container garden. Now you can use anything, whatever you have that can be reused or recycled, maybe an old large pot or maybe a bucket or anything. If you want to make it look a little more appealing, you can do a spray paint from outside, and over here I don't need to do it because this already has a good black color, so I don't need to do it. Now you can use anything, whatever is available, which you need to recycle. Over here, after making the drain holes, I have put a net so that the soil can stay in. Now I'm just going to use a couple of plants. I have these snake plants that were waiting to get repotted, so I'm going to use them in this because these will act like thrillers in my container garden. So as we are talking about arrangements, let me give you a quick tip. Now guys, whenever you're making arrangements, there are three sections in an arrangement. The first section is a thriller, second section is a filler, and the third section is a spiller. Now when we talk about thriller is a plant that is going to be the plant that tends to stand out in your arrangement. So whenever a person tends to look at your arrangement, the thriller is the first plant that catches the attention. The second plant is a filler. As the name says, it tends to fill up your arrangement, and the last one is a spiller. So spiller is a plant that is basically going to either spill out or trail out of your pot. So these are the three important sections that you need to keep in mind whenever you're making an arrangement, because this is going to make your arrangement stand out. So in my arrangement, my snake plant will act like the thriller, and then my dracaenas will be the fillers. But because I have very less of these guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more of Tradescantia zebrinas, because they tend to work as fillers as well as pillars, because over the time when they tend to grow, they will start to trail out of the pot. So they tend to work out both. They're very flexible. They will work as spillers as well as fillers. So guys, I'm feeling really dumb right now because I set the camera and then I went ahead and started filling the container with soil, and I started setting up the plants. When I came back to check, I forgot to press the record button. I feel so dumb, but there is nothing that you missed because it was a very regular thing. You just fill the container with soil and then you just put in the plant. So it's nothing that you have missed. This is all the arrangement looks like right now. These are my dracaenas, and I have my snake plants, and then I added a lot of the wandering Jew, the Tradescantia zebrinas, to fill as the space. So this is how the overall arrangement looks. Now guys, these kind of container gardens will work out really well if you are a person who does not have a lot of space for gardening. So a lot of times we give excuse that we do not have a lot of space. So this tends to work out really well. These container gardens tend to work out really well. You don't need a lot of space. Whichever plants that you like, you can just put them together in the container and just set it up, and it's very easy to maintain this because again, you don't need to water a lot. You don't have multiple pots to water. You just have one container and all you have to do is just water that. So this tends to work out really well, but there are certain things you need to keep in mind, especially regarding the sunlight. Now all of these plants, they do quite well in indirect bright light, so I have used plants according to that. Again, it completely depends upon you. If you want to use plants that tend to like a lot of sunlight, so go for plants that like the same requirements. But overall guys, these kind of container gardens are really fun to work with, so I hope that you also try one of these. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. Now I know I missed out the main part of putting in the soil in the container and setting up the plants, but don't worry guys, I will be coming up with another video wherein I have a large plastic pot which I will be turning into a kind of container garden, which I will be using a different set of plants. So in that particular video I will show you the entire process, and I'll make sure that I remember to click the record button in that video at least. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. You might have probably got an idea how to set up a container garden. If it was helpful to you, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.